It's a vote that's challenging the fabric of Danish society, debated for hours in Parliament and passed with a majority. Under a new law, police can now take cash and goods from refugees to fund their stay, and some will have to wait 3 years before they can apply to be reunited with their family. Proponents say the measures are designed to dissuade refugees from coming in the first place.
We, of course, wish we did not have to pass legislation on extending family reunification, but we also look at what happens if we do not do it. Then we would continue to be one of the most attractive countries to seek asylum in Denmark, and then over time the burden of integration would be almost impossible because so many people would come here.
What's surprising is that this was supported by some liberals who say the cost of funding refugees is getting too expensive.
If you look at how large a percentage of our GDP that we spend on asylum seekers, then Sweden is number 1 and we are number 2, and then the rest of the countries spend half of what these two countries spend.
Even though the new law passed with an overwhelming majority, it doesn't mean that opponents of this legislation are giving up. One member of parliament says she's going to continue to fight for refugees and their families.
I know that war splits up family. Everybody knows that. But the answer from Denmark and from other countries like Denmark should be, but we will do everything we can to try to bring the families together instead of doing everything we can to keep the families, the parents and the children away from each other.
And human rights activists and opponents argue that's a violation of the European Convention, an article which states a human being has a right to family life. It's a measure that's sparking fear that tough laws passed by Denmark might set a precedent for other countries. Kilmeny Duchardt, TRT World, Copenhagen.